Okay, so I want to about the portal. I'll just answer in a video. So first of all, I could say I basically always, what am I saying? I basically always did the portal on the ground. So I'd be like, boom, like if I see like two people are right here or whatever, then like bam, then I get out here, and then we and I messed that up, by the way, because I wasn't like on the ground, so it's kind of inconvenient for the team sometimes. But so I get so there's like all the choke point stuff. But the reason why I want to put it on the ground all the time, oh, actually I need that off. The reason why I want to put it on the ground all the time is because of a few things. So first of all, like if we do it like this, and then now to be a part of the team fight, we have to go in. Otherwise, we're not holding the point down, right? So everybody has to come in. But this allows the team to react. You know, I go over here, I charge up my ability. That's like a ton of burst damage. Bam! Maybe I get a kill right off the bat. You know, it's extremely common in these during portals. It's like you never want your portal to lead to a death pit. Like you want your portal to go successfully. So one of the easiest ways to get success when you get out of the portal, I'm jumping into the fight, is to have a healing ultimate. So that's literally something I will say like in chat. You know, I mean, I use voice comms sometimes. I would use it more, but I don't know. I just use chat a lot, so for like literally just like portal, right? And I use what's this called? You know what I'm talking about. The ping a lot. Okay, so what I do. Okay, so we have I say like I'm just gonna use portal with the healing ultimate, or with ult, you know, so it's because it's kind of obvious. So that's like the easiest way, because it gives us healing right off the bat, and we don't have to worry about it. Obviously, it can still go wrong if they use some super high damage ultimate. They have a Magneto ultimate or whatever, you know, it can still go wrong. And then also high damage ultimates, like stun ultimates, can work too, you know, but or like a Scarlet Witch ultimate, you know, these things are like really popular to see. But something like a Punisher ultimate is really strong. You could, or like a Star-Lord ultimate or whatever, because you're immediately putting the other team in the position where they're about to die, right? So like I almost always do a portal on the ground, which I'll keep talking about why. But a situation where I would sometimes use a portal from the sky is if I feel like it works. Like basically I know maybe we have a healing ultimate or something. It's something that makes me think I know we're going to be able to drop down there and it's going to work. But we have some players who benefit from being just like protected up in the sky. Like that can be really annoying for the other team to deal with. So Punisher is one of those, because you could just stand up here and go you know, shooting at the people all the time. You know, basically any hit scan is good at that, right? So sometimes that just seems like the best option. Also, if you absolutely have like no time, then you're coming in here and you just boom. You know what I mean? Because you have to get there as fast as possible. Yeah. Otherwise, I was almost. And then just to kind of talk about it. So so something that we might do is, or something very common that I'll do is I'll go through the map. I go all the way to point, and then I drop it down. And like I'm looking away from the, instead of like if I do this, then the enemy's already looking at us. I'm popping out right on the enemy. Sometimes that's helpful. That's like a really good way to catch people. It's like the whole team can just annihilate this one enemy. That's another portal tactic. But a lot of times I'll be doing it away from the enemy. So then when I come out, now we have you know what I mean? We have cover to work around. And it puts a huge piece of cover right here that we can use for the rest of this 10 seconds or whatever it is. Yeah, it gives us time to be able to do all this stuff. So another thing about using a portal is like, well, let me try to get it. I guess this is just what I feel like doing. I'll just do it. So I come. Oh, this is another thing. If you're gonna do like the portal on the ground trick, you want to do it like basically there's a certain distance away from the portal door you have to be. So I just get used to it, like do it as close as I could possibly be, and then What was I gonna say? So yeah, and then it's like we go into this team fight. So the healer, I'm a healer, and well, we don't have. It's really tilted, huh? Maybe I should utilize the tilt more. Damn. Okay. Yeah, tilting the thing. Like, I'm bringing it up because that can make a big impact too. But anyway, if I'm a healer, I'm right here. I'm healing the team. So this is another thing that you want the team to pay attention to. Is like, you know, if I put the portal down, and then the second that I get out of the portal, I go, wow, I'm way over here now. You know what I mean? How am I going to get healed, right? That's like the value of doing this from right here is like the healer can use, you know, if the portal was still right here, they can use be inside the portal, do healing, and then the second that they get in trouble, they're totally protected. You know, what's the other team supposed to do, right? They can't kill the healer at all. So it's just pretty convenient, and it's also convenient when we have to put the like a lot of times after first point, right? We won't have a healing ultimate ready, but maybe it's charged 70%, 80%, something like that. So putting it down on the ground right next to the spawn door allows my healers to build up charge, build up charge, build up charge. And also you can keep that in mind as a tank too. I take damage and I get healed, build up charge, and then when they get it, boom, they're out the portal. They use the healing ultimate, and then we can do like a full team fight and waste a bunch of time on the points or try to win the points or whatever it is. So yeah, but there is a lot of other portal tactics. That's the other thing I have to mention is like there's you know, on the different maps and stuff, there's a lot of cool stuff that people can do. Like for example, I've seen stuff like this. You know, let's say I'm starting from spawn and I'm putting it right here. So now the team is up here on high ground, and this is like the point or whatever. The team is up here on high ground, and it's really effective. You know what I mean? Like it can go wrong too. It depends on what the other team is. But like this happened to me when I was playing Groot down here. And like I don't know, it's just like if I'm on another hero, like even this guy, you know, you can get up here, you can challenge him. But I just felt like I couldn't really challenge him from the distance and stuff. And then like I think our DPS and stuff also couldn't really challenge them up on high ground. So just kind of give him a big advantage, but it's not always an advantage. But anyway, I'm just pointing out that there's a lot of other strategies that I'd honestly be quite curious to go over and see and stuff. But just kind of sharing what I do. I almost always put it on the ground, and I literally just try to think, like, I don't even know where to put it or whatever. Because I've done portals that went really, really badly. It's like our team instantly died or whatever, you know what I mean? Like, so that's why I'm kind of pointing out these things. Like, sometimes it's not your fault when you're the portal guy, because maybe they went through the portal and they just ran away, or they got killed by something. That didn't need to that didn't need to happen. That wasn't my fault. But sometimes I put it in a spot, and I'm like, yeah, that could have been a better spot, you know. But yeah, like I was saying in the game, like you can create the choke point. Like even though I'm not even really imagining, like I don't really know if it'll go well or not, but I just know that it gives our team more time to be alive, basically, because we can block the other team more. Potentially we can get kills somehow. And if we're in a spot like that where there's a clear choke point, you know, and the team is like you know, there's 6 players, so if I see like 3 players behind and 3 players above, boom, I just put it there. And now they're all split up, which is really valuable because you only have 2 healers on a team. So both their healers, you know what I mean? It's like when you can split them up, it can lead to kills really fast sometimes. So it's like always worth doing. That's like kind of something I go for. Yeah, and also putting your back to the fight. That way you can get out and use cover, kind of give your team time to get used to the place and get used to the fight. That's another mistake that a lot of people do when they come out of portals. They don't even look through the portal and they just go, ah! But like that's why it's a death pit a lot of the time. And yeah, about that advice, like I don't agree with that. Like you should always, I don't know what the logic is of putting it up in the air instead of on the ground. Like I said, I always put it on the ground unless I absolutely had a strong reason not to, from the Punisher wants to do that or whatever, or we just have to set it super fast. But I don't know what their logic is that they're thinking they want to put it up in the sky instead of on the ground. But I did notice that like generally, like the lower level players are like when the portal opens up, they just jump through it, right? But that doesn't really make sense with the way that I'm doing it. which is I'm setting it in a kind of a strategic spot the best that I can during the moment, right? And then yeah. And then you sort of get used to it. You play around it. You make something happen. You build up all charge. You do an extended. The whole goal is like to do an extended team fight, rather than just jump through the portal and boom, everything works. You know what I mean? But yeah, obviously there's the other factor of like sometimes you have to get through the portal right away. So that's very common as well. So I'll be doing that. Like if some other person is the portaler, then I'll be like, and 0 seconds is coming. So I'll just jump through the portal right at 0 seconds, assuming that he's gonna get it right at the end. So there's a couple other things I can mention, which is like, learning how to navigate the portal is like really important, because I'm so used to doing replays, I'm pressing Q to go down. But anyway, yeah, like I just got stuck organically right there, you know what I mean? So like realistically, I could get a lot better at it, but I kind of, I learned how to not waste too much time while I'm going through the map. And also, I thought about, since I played most of the I've done a portal on like most of the maps, so I kind of got used to like, okay, I go this way. Yeah, don't be afraid to try something new, but sometimes they do go badly, right? But just that here, I want to emphasize that it takes time to. I think you did do a portal. I mean, but yeah, you're learning about them, so it does take time to like learn, how to move the portal around the map. It's like one of the things that's like a big factor, because a lot of times you're racing the clock, so that's why it's like this is so important to be able to do it as fast as possible. And since, on Doctor Strange, I don't really have like a super high sensitivity, so I really have to get used to like that I have to move my mouse a lot to make these movements happen while I'm getting around the map, right? And then being really quick with like putting it on the ground like that or whatever, right? There's one more thing I was gonna mention. Let me think about it. Oh, okay, so another thing to go over is I remember having some type of issue with this. So basically, when you first pull up the portal, it'll just be the portal right there, and then you immediately start moving the second portal, right? But if I want to move where my first portal is, I open up portal, I press reposition with the left click, and now I'm moving the first portal. And then I place the first portal, and I place the second one. And then what could happen is, let me see how this works again. So yeah, if I get too close to the other portal, like this is too close, so now I'm repositioning the first one. So there was some times where, because I would also do some stupid stuff with the portals. Like, it's not stupid if it works, right? But I would like put two portals close by each other to like as a last resort thing, because I had time to sort of mess up the fight. Like, I'm just sort of trying to make the fight space more complicated, and potentially give my teammates opportunities and confuse the other team. Like, I don't know, man. And it also creates shields. Like, it creates blocking zones. But yeah, and then also you gotta use it if you do stuff like this, right? So here I'm doing one right there and one right there. So I haven't done this very often, like, because you don't want to mess these up. So it's worth it to practice all this stuff. Yeah, so I did do it correctly. Yeah, it's like if you block the actual zone, then yeah, they'll just be stuck, right? There's that one, and then I already talked about the other one, which is like I would go in front of his portal, to go through his portal and block them and put them back to my portal. And then another thing is, if I put one side of the portal in a death zone or a waste of time zone, and then what I would do is I would want to be on the other side of his portal. I'm not sure if that's clear, but I want to be on like the other side of his portal. That way, when they go through, oh no, it's the same thing. Never mind. You could do it either way. No, you couldn't do it either way. You have to do it in front of his portal. Okay, so like, you know what I mean? Like, maybe the portal stuff would be more obvious to you, but my point is like it's good to practice it. Yeah. The practice range is nice because yeah, you can just do it as many as you want, mess around with them as much as you want.